Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and some of the things that I see come through and a lot of questions that I get from customers are on what's the maintenance on my snowblower and what do I do if this happens or that happens, right? So let's start off with the bare basics. When it comes to your snowblower, every time you go to use it, you're going to want to check the oil. Make sure you've got oil in that machine. Your gas should be shut off, so make sure you turn your gas on. And then use your choke and so forth. And when you get done with it, what I like to do and what I recommend is just simply turn the fuel off and let it just run until it runs right out of fuel. And that way you know that there's no fuel left in the carburetor. But the biggest thing that I see are customers that end up, tip this back a little bit so you can see. Let me get my goggles on for safety purposes. But on every snowblower, you'll see bolts going through these front augers. And what is the reason for those bolts? And are they any special bolts? And the answer is yes, that they're what they call shear bolts. And shear bolts, the idea behind it is that they will shear before damaging everything else. And what ends up happening is by this bolt shearing, the customer will look at their machine and this side is free spinning and this side isn't. So they look over there and they say, well shoot, there's a bolt in it. So they run out to their handy dandy hardware store, or worse yet, go through their box of bolts that they got in the garage and find one that will fit in there. What have they done by doing that? Well, let's tip her back up again. Oh, she's heavy. If you put a grade 5 or a grade 8 bolt instead of a shear bolt, and that's one like this made for here, you will damage this whole gearbox. I guarantee it. Something's going to get wedged, and since that can't shear, it's going to take out everything, and that is going to have an expensive fix. So my suggestion is get with somebody like me, your local repair shop, and either show them or tell them what you have for a machine. You know, this one here is a Simplicity M1530E. If you take that to any of your small engine repair shops that you deal with, they can give you a shear bolt number that corresponds to that machine. And I recommend that you have extra on hand just for that unit. They used to come through and they had a rubber grommet type thing where there were 3 or 4 of them that they would send with the machine, but I don't see that too much anymore with the newer ones. And a lot of times, you know, you as homeowners, you don't know the difference. And how do you not know the difference? Because nobody has ever shown you that before. Most places like Home Depot, Tractor Supply, Lowe's, all those other ones just want to sell you a unit. That's it. So if you want to save yourself a lot of troubles, a lot of heartaches, and a lot of expense, please find out what the correct shear bolt is for the front. Have extra on hand, even if you have like a little draw in you know, out in the garage or something, and just label it snowblower shear pins. And like I say, each one is a little bit different depending on your machine. You know, I carry probably 12 different kinds of shear bolts in here for all the different machines. But it's farther ahead to spend a couple bucks on a shear bolt that you know is not going to damage that machine versus hundreds of dollars just for that auger system, because it will just totally wipe it out. So hopefully, you know, you've learned one more thing when it comes to your snowblower. That the front end, you need to run shear bolts and only shear bolts. Not grade 5, not grade 8. The shear bolt that the manufacturer recommends for their units, so that you're running it safely and that they're designed to break before everything else breaks. Okay? On that note, you guys have a great day and we'll catch you on the next video.